If you want to see how I got this dip powder pedicure, go ahead and stay tuned. Honey. Oh my gosh, this was the real deal, okay? This video right here was the real deal, okay? Okay. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Wendy, and I'm back with another video. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and consider subscribing to your girl's channel. New videos are posted every Tuesday and Thursday, sometimes on Wednesdays, depending on what's going on. A1 since day one, or however long you've been here. I sure appreciate you. No, I'm Shan. No, I'm talking about already, man. It's all love. So this video right here, I'm showing you how I do my dip powder pedicure. Okay, so off camera I went ahead and pushed my cuticles back, got the dead cuticles off, and did all that good stuff, you know what I'm saying. And so I'm showing you guys right here what I use, and I'll explain further in detail exactly what I use in the video. Stay tuned. All right, y'all. So I start this process with clean, dry, extremely dry feet. Um, ex Actually, what actually happened was I did already try to dip my big toe, but I forgot that I need to prep and prime it. So you can see that it's a little bit sparkly with pixie dust. So I use pixie dust, French white, clear, and then the knot polishes, numbers 1, 2, and 3. So I use their bond, their base, and then their activator. And I also use Beetle's gel polish top coat, as well as 99% isopropyl alcohol. I used, what's your name is? Enel Couture's Prep and Prime. And I also used two brushes, one to get the excess off, and then one to go around my cuticles. I used a toothpick, and I used a plate, disposable plate. And so what you'll see me doing is right here, the struggle is real. This part was so difficult. I was trying to get the angle good for the camera, so on and so forth, but it just really did not turn out well. So you'll have to continue on in the video to see how I actually got this set to be successful, because honey, it was some work. Okay, so right here, this method that I'm about to show you right here is the method that I should have been doing the entire time. But I said to myself, I said, self, do we really want to do this like this? Is this something that we really want to do like this? Yes, ma'am, it is. Yes, ma'am. So what I'm about to do right here is I'm using nail polishes base, which is number 3 in that little collection. I've already placed clear on my toenails because I want to protect my natural toenail bed from being ruined. So you see how I just dipped that bad boy up in there? That's what you want to do. If you're going to do this method, I suggest that you just dip your toes, okay? So what I did was just go ahead and watch to the end, you know what I'm saying? But right here, I'm just getting the excess off from around my toes. This is actually French white. So I did clear first, then I did French white, and then I did 2 coats of pixie dust. And the reason why was because the first coat, it just didn't really do it justice, okay? And then I did 1 coat of clear, because at that point, I was done ski. Okay, I think the entire process took me about 2 hours or an hour and a half, something like that. Basically, long in the mug. Okay, it took me a minute. And so then I go back to taking it and taking it and shaking it on the toenails. You don't want to do that. I didn't waste too much product, and I don't mind dipping my toes in my own product. Why? Because it's just me. I'm not, I don't sell press on nails or anything like that. So it's just me using it. And so yeah, it was real, okay? And so right here, what I'm showing you is how I just take the plate, dump the contents back in there, and as you can see, there was nothing left. There was no residue or anything like that. And then I took the plate and I would shake the plate off with my brush, and so I would start the process literally all over again. So basically, what you guys are about to see is me dipping these bad boys all up into this dip powder. So I would do, I start to do the big toe first, and then, the two middle toes, and then, the two other toes. I would keep those together. And so for the most part, that was very, very successful. That worked. It was easier, much easier. I didn't lose too much product. And so actually towards the end, and I didn't record this part, I actually took the plate, put it on the floor, and then I put the dip powder on the floor, and then I just dipped it like that. So right now I'm using a fine, well, maybe a medium grit, cone shaped tool. And so I'm just going around and getting everything that's not supposed to be there. I'm getting it gone. And so I'm smoothing out the surface so that way when I go into hand file, I don't have that much to do. I don't really use the e-file like that, but I thought that this step was necessary because I actually had 4 to 5 coats of dip powder on my toenails, and for me that's not a problem, because dip powder can be very strengthening for your toes. And so dip powder on your toes, I've had it done before. I was actually somewhere in Kansas. I was driving across the country, and I stopped somewhere in Kansas, and I was so sad. And so I ended up stopping, getting some barbecue, and then I stopped into some nail salon, and they actually put dip powder on my toes. And so when I say that this lasted for like a month and some change, it probably would have lasted me 2-3 months had I had, just thought about it. But I was so bougie back in the day, because we got paid on the 1st and the 15th. Okay. I would get my toes done on the 1st and the 15th. And so, not necessarily realizing, what dip powder was, so on and so forth. But, now that I know, what dip powder is and how useful it can be, and these angles, if it's awkward for y'all, it's even more awkward for me. You know what I'm saying? I got my foot on the couch, trying to balance, trying to get this video right. And so, yeah, so dip powder can last at least a good 2 months on your toes. You know what I'm saying? And when I was in the army and I was wearing this, I would wear closed toe shoes all the time. I didn't necessarily wear sandals a lot because I just, I would just keep it up with my personal maintenance, kind of like how I do now. And so, I highly recommend it. And the way you soak it off, the way you take it off is the same way you would soak off acrylic. You know what I'm saying? You get you some 100% acetone, and cotton balls and stuff like that. And then, you just soak your toes the same way you would soak your toenails off. No, well, not soak your toenails off. Soak the polish off at a regular salon. You know what I'm saying? But this way, if you're doing it yourself, you save so much money. Yes, in the beginning, it's very, it can be a lot. But if you find the right company, and I recommend iGel Beauty, if you find the right company at the right prices, because one bottle of dip powder is $5.60. So I have 20 to 30 something bottles of it, and so it could last me a long time. You know what I'm saying? Because as you guys can see, I rotate colors. And so I really, highly suggest it to you guys, what I'm saying, if you have the time and if you have the patience. It can be taxing, but doing your nails can be taxing as well. So you have to, make sure that you're ready to do, something like this. And so towards the end, what I ended up doing was I ended up using my hand file and my little hand buffer, and smoothed out the rest of the impurities or whatever. So I think I went over my toes at least twice with the e-drill. And the e-drill, is very, very, I didn't have it on a high speed, but I had it on a speed that was high enough to do what I needed for it to do. Because as you can see, all this dust and stuff is flying. And so brushing it off, what I'm saying. And then after I brushed it off, I believe I went back in again to file again. And so after that, I used the Beatles top coat. And I used the 99% isopropyl alcohol to get off any, of the sticky layer. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoy bringing you new content. And it was, it wasn't easy. Okay, it wasn't easy, but it was worth it. And so, I'll give you guys an update as to how it was and how it went. Maybe if I remember, hopefully I remember. But this has been Journey with Wendy. I'm me, she, her, and Wendy. New videos are posted every Tuesday and Thursday. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And with that, you know what that means, that your girl is what? Your girl is out.